Yo, what's up? Welcome back for another one. That was our theme song composed by Patrick McCready of the bands Jinnouchi Power and his solo project McKenna Elise and the Great Galvanic Divide. Make sure to check that stuff out. That's always linked in the description of the videos and stuff like that, but wanted to give a shout out for that. He just put out a new album under McKenna Elise project banner, so make sure to check that out. And thank you again to my dear friend Patrick for the song. Very cool. So yeah, welcome in to another one here. If you're watching the stream, sorry about what I just did to your eardrums with the mishap on the music volume there. And yeah, we're ready to get back into it here. So one of the benefits of not having that many regular viewers is I probably didn't blow up anyone's eardrums right there. So, and yeah, we just checked out the surprise cubes. So if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to check out that video as well. That was the first thing we did on the stream here today. Silly. And we've got candy stuck in our teeth now, so it's going to be a good day. And yeah, we have rolled again on our list. That's not the list. Rolled again on our list, and fate has decided we are in for number 9, the Dune Ornithopter. So another big build here, another project that's probably going to take us a few sessions, but a project we're very excited about starting because Dune is sick. The Denis Villeneuve adaptations have been incredible so far. Really excited for Dune Messiah. I just got through reading God Emperor of Dune, the 4th book. It's God Emperor. Dune, Messiah, Children, God Emperor. Yeah, just finished reading God Emperor of Dune. I'm kind of putting a pin in my Dune reading there, as I've had people tell me that the other 2 books are kind of like at the beginning of an unfinished additional quadrilogy. Some people say that Children, or that God Emperor is kind of the bridge between 2 different trilogies, but in any case, he passed before finishing his work, and yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna go down that rabbit hole. Perhaps in the future, if I reread the series, I'll check that out. But I've moved on to some other stuff since then. But it was very, very interesting, very weird, and cerebral series that I enjoyed very much. So yeah, let's check out this Ornithopter. It's gonna be sweet. We got a ton of cool minifigures here. Finally, get a Timothée Chalamet minifigure going. So yeah, we're gonna check it out here. I guess we're gonna try to be gentle on opening this. Can't really imagine a world in which I sell this set. I mean, I feel like I would sell every Star Wars set in my collection basically before I would sell this, given that I don't have any of the like super high end ones. If I had like, you know, a UCS X-Wing, maybe that would be like a notch above this, because I do really love Star Wars, but like, yeah, a lot of the builds are more like play level builds, you know, that aren't you know, necessarily the absolute best on display. Check out our boxes here. So we've got some canopies here. So we check out the contents of the box. Wings, probably the wings would be my guess. Set that aside for now. Start pulling out our bags here. Yeah. No scissors. There's our, I think, Baron Vladimir Harkonnen's cape. I should hazard a guess. 8, 6, 10. So yeah, this guy is a pretty big one. 1,400 pieces, not so crazy, I guess. But here's bag number 1. Here's our instruction booklet. Let's get our little points going here. Come on. All right, QR code seems to be broken on this one. What a crock of shit. I'm not getting my 20 points now. Life goes on. Bag number 3. Bag number 9. Loose piece. And bag number 7. There she blows. So, okay. Now we can drop these back down in here, such that it will be convenient to grab them as they are needed. And we'll start at the top with bag number 1 here, but before we get ahead of ourselves, let's check out our booklet here. If you want to try to steal this QR code, you can go right ahead. I couldn't get it to work, and I will not be wasting any more time for 20 insider points. So if you can get it to work, more power to you. All right. Let's see here. Yep, paper packets. Maybe someday. We got the app. You can get that. All right. Desert Power. Cultivating Desert Power. Dune and Dune Part 2 have captivated long-term and new fans of the immersive universe created by Frank Herbert in his 1965 novel. Set in the year 10191. 10,191. I guess that's how you'd say that. 8,000 years in the future. On the brink of an interstellar conflict, the story chronicles young Paul Atreides' rise to the calling of his noble heritage. By order of the omnipotent emperor, Paul is thrust into unfamiliar territory on the planet Arrakis, also known as Dune, inhabited by powerful desert warriors, the Fremen, and the only known planet to produce the precious spice. As the treacherous Baron Harkonnen turns against the Atreides family, Paul uncovers the deepest secrets of the planet, its people, and his own destiny. And there's some more stuff in here about Dune and about these characters. I would advise to just read this novel. It's really good. Watch the movies. If you're not a reader, I mean, I advocate for reading. I think it's good. People should read. Movie's also very good. We got Paul Atreides. We got Dr. Leet Kynes. We got the Duke Leto Atreides. Okay, cool. So we got some Oscar Isaac up in here as well. Lady Jessica. Gurney Halleck. Cool. Chani. Duncan Idaho. And, of course, the Baron Vladimir Harkonnen. Ha ha ha, yes. Cool. They really do set you up with a bunch of minifigures here, which is nice, because I can't imagine that we get another set from this theme. Perhaps when Dune Messiah comes out, but really Dune isn't like, it's not really known for its like big set pieces. I mean, like, I'm trying to think in Messiah, in a spoiler-free way, I'm trying to think if there's really anything that would be a good build in Lego, you know? It's more about, like, political intrigue than it is big action set pieces. Although, in these adaptations of the first book here, there's some pretty good action that happens, but really that's like the most action that's ever in the whole series, basically. All right. So let's check it out here. We got our booklet all ready to go. Check out bag number 1 here. Where's my trays? There they are. These opened up. Yeah, Dune Part 2 was one of my favorite movies of last year, so definitely recommend this series. So last year was 2 years ago. No, it was probably last year. I think it was last year. Go. We have updated our stream info. All right, so let's see here. We got our Paul Atreides minifigure to start here. His Atreides gear. We got some knives here. I don't know if this is supposed to be his Christ knife. The tooth of the sandworm. Oh, we got to give him his more... He's got a more battle-ready looking face here if we're going to have this knife be in his hand. You know, is this supposed to be the Christ knife? Or, I mean, given his, Atreides, battle uniform here, I would say this is probably more from, like, the early scene where he's training with the shields. With Gurney Halleck would be my guess. The Christ knife, I think, is more like ornamental than, I mean, not that Lego has like a incredible wealth of pieces to, but I think they probably would have gone with something else for that. Even like to go back to our Triceratops that we just built, like, one of these might be like more fitting as the Christ knife. Christ knife. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I don't know if they said it in the films. I don't recall. That's how I said it in my head when I was reading the books. Christ knife. Could be Chris knife, like chrysalis. It's kind of spelled like chrysalis. Chris knife. I don't know. Anyway, Dune heads know what I'm talking about, even if they are making fun of me for saying it wrong. All right, so we got multiple links to be concerned with here. Yeah, we do, but this one is so much longer. Paul! Knocked him over. I think it's got to be this one. Get our Technic frame started here. Yeah, I've elected, since we rolled it and I didn't actually do the thing yet, we're going to be building this with the actual components. There is readily available online. You can get a list of the components you need to replace, like all of these, maybe not all of them, but the visible Technic studs that are, blue and red and whatever, replaced with, black or gray components that have the same clutch power and everything like that. I didn't get them. I toyed with the idea, but didn't get around to it. I've been so busy at work the last couple of months, and just in general in my life. So, yeah, did not get around to that. But I can always rebuild it later with that stuff if I'm really so inclined. All right. So this isn't like a symmetrical frame. This is just like one long kind of spine we got going on here. Nothing wrong with that. Because, yeah, you can't just swap out any old Technic pins. Like, even ones that look similar sometimes have very different, like, clutch power and ability to, like, spin and move. Different levels of resistance and stuff like that. So you got to be careful about what you get. But people were pretty quick to break down a part inventory, you know, part serial numbers that you would need in order to make that happen. That stuff is all readily available online. Should you so choose. Where is this hinge guy? Here we go. Get this hinge in here. Just on the bottom here. Okay. Got some sand under there. Okay. Connect these up like so before dropping them on here. Yeah, I'm pretty excited for things to slow down a little bit at work. I mean, we're so much busier in general than we used to be. I don't think it's going to be like a slow summer for us or anything like that, but some of these events in late April and early May are just crushers. Like, we've been so under the gun for so long. I am looking forward to a little bit of a change in vibe. Should be nice. Okay. Get our jumpers on here. This is a little darker green. It looks lighter later in the instructions. And it's the only green thing I got, so I think it's gotta be that. Ah. Yeah, having reached my chosen stopping point in the Dune series, I have picked back up the Southern Reach trilogy, is what I'm currently reading. I just started book number 2, Authority, having read Annihilation, well, couple of years ago, maybe something like that. I just gave myself a little refresher on the events of that book via just reading online rather than choosing to reread it to start from the top recently enough that I was like, I didn't really feel the need to start again from the beginning of the series, but I also wanted to, remind myself of some stuff going into the second book, so picked up a little bit of reminders about what was going on, and now we're getting into that. It's pretty cool so far. Very different from the first book, which is a nice surprise. What's this other one of these guys here? There it is. Okay. Lots of Technic action. Yeah, these wings better flap. We did just build, not too terribly long ago, the Da Vinci Ornithopter set, which has some pretty cool flapping Technic action in it as well. Quite enjoyed that set particularly as a relatively cheap build. I found it pretty interesting, and it looks nice on display. Definitely reaching the point again where I'm going to have to break down some sets soon because my shelves are starting to get pretty overcrowded with stuff. I like a maximalist vibe to a certain extent, but it's like, I don't like the just absolutely jam-packed everything overlapping, and like I want the displays to like look, like they have a little bit of breathing room or so. Let's see here. Get some teeth on this guy. Some sort of gear action forthcoming, perhaps. Or it could just be greebling. Hard to say for certain this early into the build. We'll find out all this stuff in good due time. But it does seem at least like some of this stuff is laying the groundwork for some sort of mechanism. Oh, here we go. This part will form the lever to make the wings flap. Spoilers. I think it's kind of fun when you figure this stuff out, like, as you go through the build, but hey, no matter. Alright, so this connects right here. And this just kind of rests up on there for now. Alright. They thought we just couldn't take the suspense. Nice paneling here. Pay attention that we're not missing anything. I think we're good so far. The wings are not This is wing shaped, but this is definitely just body paneling because the wings are very skinny on these ornithopters. They're not like a traditional plane. Got a Nexonite shields on here. Popular choice for paneling. 3. Some detailing on here. A couple of these saucy brackets. Looks like we're definitely going to be mirroring this. Symmetry. We know it well from building any crafts. Okay, so we're going to slot these in over these guys right here, and then these studs right here are going to connect up to the inside of our panel here. Yep, very nicely. Cool. There we go. So we're rocking the tail here. It looks like the tail of the ornithopter. And this will be our lever that controls the wings, as the instruction booklet so helpfully pointed out to us. Oops. Yeah, I'm curious how long this build will end up taking. I can't imagine it's super complex. I think a lot of the price point is just getting like a billion minifigures here, which, you know, as I said earlier, I'm not mad about given the unlikelihood of, you know, them producing anything else that could have any of these characters in it. Realistically, it's like, well, you know, if you're gonna do it, do it. Give us the juice that we crave. I'm not like a minifigure diehard like some people, but you know, I like them. I'm not quite at the point of selling off the minifigures from a set and just keeping the build, as you know. We haven't taken it that far, but I do like the builds, I would say, more than the minifigures. If I had to choose, I would collect builds, not just minifigures. I assume that's probably clear from, you know, the fact that I stream these builds. Like, this is the part of LEGO that I find most enjoyable. The tail will form the handle to hold the vehicle, so it's important that it is super strong. Yeah, I suppose that's true. It's funny to think of this as being like a play set. It's like, what kid is like, I don't know. I mean, maybe the movies make it more accessible, but it's really not like a, you know, a lot of very, very dark things happen in this series. Like, I wouldn't really recommend it for children, but whatever. Got here a little butt. Put a little butt on this thing. I fear that we have missed a panel somewhere. I bet it's supposed to go right here. This guy. Yup. It is. See, I got to yapping and all these jumpers. Not really too sure what this is about. I guess just lets it be offset. Sure. Offset by half a stud. Yeah. Don't know what the point of that exactly is, but I guess we'll see. Bag number 2. Ow. Bag number 2 here. Desert Rhythms. This is some good music for the Dune set. Patricios. I like it. Okay. All right. Let's see here. We got another minifigure here. This is a dress-based minifigure instead of legs. A nice gold color on our Bene Gesserit witch here. We've got one face with all these like ornamental chains to go with the hood, and then we've got a plain face to go with the hair. I think we're gonna rock this hood though. Pretty cool. Let's just try on the hair first, just for fun here. Yeah, kind of a basic ponytail. I mean, not a bad look for the character, but probably not where we're gonna go on display here. Show off the weirding woman in her full Bene Gesserit regalia here. Very cool. Here you go. Stand by your son there. Awesome. And get into it here. Looks like we can safely set aside our tail here for now. As we get into this next part of the build. So many studs in this. You'd have to like find a guide or something that tells you which ones you're supposed to swap out of like what's going to be visible. I mean, or I guess you could just build it and then go back and do it that way. All right, we get some studs on the outside here. So I got cameras over here, scooching stuff, so I'm a little more centered here. There we go. This around. Sideways headlight bricks. Very cool. This lime green dollop of color in here. So the headlights sideways are like a block height, as it requests to be known in the Lion Knight Castle instructions. They're like 2/3 of a brick. You can see some more studs on the outside here. But we're not done with that. Almost more studs to build. What? I just missed something? Oh yeah, missed a whole page. Missed a whole page. All right. Slick. Very slick. Okay. Technic pins, ahoy! You get a Technic pin. 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 Sweet, sweet Technic action. Yeah, I always think to myself, like, I should buy one of the big Technic sets and really give that a go. And yet, I never have. I never have I? There's just always so many other big sets of the traditional system Lego that I want. If I had just unlimited money and time, I would absolutely check them out, but sadly, we must make choices in life. Have neither unlimited time nor unlimited money, so. Okay, let's see here. Got one of these little missile wings going on like so. Drop that through here. And put on this to bracket it. Just push in because there's nothing on the other side. Okay. Let's see here. What we got next? Oh, this is going to be like the ramp, the back ramp to get into the craft. Maybe. tummy is gurgling. I forgot to eat before I started my stream. I'm going to be very hungry at the end of this, but we're gonna power through here. Only have about an hour left anyway, so what's an hour of being hungry? I'll have plenty of time still to get food before my shift starts. I actually started somewhat close to on time today. All right, let me use this handy dandy spacer. Shows how deep in this should be pushed. It's a pretty nice feature when you're just, you know, free sliding these spacers onto here. Give you an idea of, wants these ridges to be asymmetrical. We're not doing that. There we go. This goes in here, and then this pushes through. Yup. All the way through. There we go. And then another one of these on the outside. Okay. Cover up some of this stuff. Oh. As always, trying to be diligent about hiding our injection mold markings. Though likely won't be visible anyway. Okay, this goes in here. This goes into that. And then another one of these down. And then push this through. Okay. All right. Like so. Then nice. Okay, this goes into here and through. Oh, injection mold marks. Were those on both sides? They can't be. Oh, disgusting. That's fine. We're not going to go back to do something like that. Okay, that's our only connection point for now. Okay. We're going to go This time we'll pay attention to it, though. This is closer to the end of the ramp anyway. Maybe this part will be visible. It's pathological, I know, but, you know. Okay, these go in here. Come on. Gotta line it up. Otherwise it won't go. There we go. Probably symmetrical-ish. Okay. We got a lot of stuff going on here. Okay. Yep. Okay. Gotta measure out our spacer here again. Well, the red bar is totally longer on the page than it is on this, but that's okay. We'll figure it out. Looks roughly even. We'll find out soon enough. If it's not, we can adjust it. Okay, this sits in here. Does it connect to this part in any way? Or just back here? Just back here, I think. Okay. My, that is a lot of moving parts. Pretty cool. All right, now we're gonna get this on here. This, just this, just this. I mean, it fits. This bar, clear. Clear. Oh, no. The one difference, this needs to be up over this. And that's why it's important to look. Okay. Wow. Very complex system to... Okay, here it is. Yep, that goes through, that goes through, and that goes through. Yep. Okay, and that's it. So now, on this bar... Yep, can't push this through on accident, so I can just go whoop, straight down. Connects to this. And then one facing the other direction. Yeah, this is some real Technic action here. This is cool. Seems crazy to build stuff like this on stream, though. Like, I mean, my goodness. Building those, like, quasi-functional engines on top of this would be nutty. Alright, and now we're going to attach this as well. White bars to here. Okay. Yep. So it's going to be our ramp. Stuck. There we go. Cool. Alright. But we're just gonna let's try to keep it in our pants here. Let's get through this and then it'll work as intended and not potentially knock these pins and stuff out of position and all that. That would be quite annoying. Mirror this up and get the other side covered up here. That'll at least keep everything from falling apart. Very cool build so far. A lot of interesting stuff, especially for only being 2 bags in, you know. We're really seeing a lot of mechanical action early on in this build, which is exciting. Don't even remember where the C-clip goes, if anywhere. Maybe it's still open. So our green spacer. Music has departed a little bit from the super thematically appropriate now, but that's all right. It's silly. We don't mind it. Flip this around. Flip this around. Okay, this time this doesn't get one. But we still got a lot of pins to drop in here. Okay. All right, this is ready to slot on here. Just these blue pins are the stress point. Everything else should just, yep, slide in there. Very cool. And then we can put this cap. So is this the thing here? Yeah. Cool. Yep. So we can lower our ramp here. Very cool. I like the looks of these as like the pistons. When finished turning this rocket step element, it will raise and lower the landing ramp and landing feet all at the same time. What? Okay. So the landing feet is going to be off of this guy, maybe? This little floppy silly. That's cool. Awesome. Very cool. Well, we'll look forward to that. Let's see where we're going the rest of the step here. I don't see enough for landing feet, but perhaps I'm wrong. Boing. Some sort of bracketing piece. Oops. I dropped it. It's all looking like extra pieces over there, so I think this is the end here. Let's see. Right onto the front like so. Okay. Very cool. All right. So that'll be on to bag number 3. Do I need some water? I've got still water here. I'll just drink some still water. Extend that pinky. And bag number 3. Hi, kitten. What are you doing? You're so floppy. You're so floppy. You're beautiful. Come say hi to the internet. Oh, you're a sweet kitten. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And you never sit still unless you're asleep. Such is the way of a floppy, floppy, floppy old kitten. All right. Let's see what's up next here. This is a smaller bag. Uh-oh. Yeah, probably get both on one here. And this tray can get moved out of the way for now. Extra pieces. Let's see what bag 3's got in store other than Duncan, Idaho. Tremendous. Got our Jason Momoa here. A little top knot action. Jason Momoa. Oh, knife from the first one. Okay. No extra knife. All knives will be utilized. Jason Momoa is much beloved here in Iowa since he is from Cedar Rapids, Iowa, originally. And whenever he's back in the state, it's a big deal to people. Okay. There we go. Ready to fight alongside the Fremen in battle to repel the Harkonnens. Very cool. Once again, we got, a couple of different options for face. There's a battle grimace and a non-battle hard face. Duncan, Idaho is a hard man. No spoilers. Interesting character throughout the run. Alright, let's see here. Build this twice. Sure. We're going to connect right on here. Okay. Is this build all going to build off of this? I mean, this is the main body of the thing is already basically built. So yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna see too much. Probably some like little independent structures that get linked up with it rather quickly. Try to keep everything on camera as best I can here. Delicate. Oh, is that the end of the page of music? Yep. Okay. Disconnect. Oops. I just knocked something off. No. Maybe not. Okay. This goes right here. And then this, oh nice, now we'll get this to stop flopping around here. So this guy is going to go right here, and this goes through here. Okay, so now we got some semblance of order here. It's not just flopping loose anymore. Closure for this. All right. Time for another mechanism here. Very cool build so far. Very, very cool. Okay. Set that down for a second while we get this guy ready. Like so. Yeah. Okay. Oh. Got our long piece here. Going on this guy. And then hold that all in place. Bar through here. Try to get it pretty close to centered. Close enough for now. Spacers, okay. Gray pens in here and here. Okay. And then these are going to sit on the outside, but they cannot actually clutch, so okay, so this part into here. And push through. Okay. Connected. Now these guys lower onto these green bricks. Okay. Connect. Okay. We got it. Some wing flapping action there, probably. So, mechanism just lying on top of the other one, which is pretty cool. This ramp at the back is purely ornamental. There is not room to get a minifigure through this stuff into the cockpit, for sure, but, you know, that's okay. It's a pretty cool feature nonetheless. And it's a very slim and delicate design. You know, you gotta make some sacrifices to get it all in there and still have the appropriate look of everything. More Technic action here. Can that move? Not really. Cool. Connect. Oh, get a ball joint in here. Very interesting. And one of these. Okay. Wheel. a symmetrical? Is that an injection mold marking? Yes, it does. Right there. Okay. Says these 4 wing roots form the foundation of the flapping mechanism for the ornithopter. I see these guys right here. So this one goes on to this guy. Okay. Very cool. Oops. All right. Wing root mechanisms. Flapping. Yeah, this is going to be cool. A lot of stuff going on in this set, and got a distance to go with it here. That's no doubt going to reveal some more interesting features and components of the build as time goes on. Not the craziest piece count on this, but I see it developing such that the way in which the pieces are arranged, the level of intricacy is very high. And that is going to make this a fun build, regardless of your care for the source material. Although I can't imagine one would really buy this set, you know, not knowing the source material. But I mean, who knows? You never know, I guess. Okay. There's our mirrored flappers. Looks like we're going to do a couple more of these. Or at least something similar. It might be slightly different because they're in the front, but I see just similar pieces that tell me that there's at least going to be a somewhat similar construction to these. Yeah, this is all ringing a bell so far, but it must be a little different. Otherwise, wouldn't it have been like make 2 and attach them here and here, and then here and here? So you'd think they're going to be a little bit different, but maybe not. Maybe they just thought that'd be too confusing. Though for a 18 and up set, I don't know. But so far, this is the same as this one, no? No, it isn't. As this one, no? Yeah, this one. Yeah, it is basically the same so far. Yeah. I mean, this is this. Exactly the same. Well, in any case, one more to build. I mean, it still would have been the same amount of stuff to build, regardless. It's just an unnecessary page in the instruction booklet, basically. But whatever. Well versed at this point, even though it's a fairly tricky build. It's still, once you've built something several times, it tends to fly together down the stretch. And that goes right here. All right. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think they're exactly mirrored, so I don't really know why it had us build all that separately, but in any case, all roads lead to Rome. We are here now. Let's see what we got next here. Okay. There we go. This is going to sit. Doesn't need to connect to these wing things in any way. We're just going to connect it up to the front here, like so. Oh, nope, like so. There we go. On the front. Very good. Then got these little archways here, over which we'll bridge some of the body of this beautiful dragonfly. Like so. And that's going to sit right behind them. So what, right here? Yeah, it looks like we're leaving one of these studs exposed. So right in the middle of these sand colored 1x3s. That will sit. Then, okay. building this kind of weird and out of order because I want to align these mold injection markings on the back of these oval pieces. That's why I'm not just doing it as, you know, in the order that they specify here. I want these injection mold markings swept towards the rear of the vessel. Okay. And these ones are going to sit right here on top of this guy right here. Looks like. Injection mold markings towards the rear. Okay. And then another bridge here. So basically just support struts that are going to help us put the roof on this thing, I think, more or less is what we're looking at here. But I don't know if we'll be putting the roof on it today because we are low on pieces here. All right, this one goes right here, right in the middle of these wing action. Oh! We're dum-dums. We are dum-dums. We did this wrong. It is not opposite and equal parts. So which... It's upside down. Upside down. Functionally. Oh. Whoa. I mean, it's still the same build. I just put it on there wrong. So I think my point stands. But man, you really got to be careful with these Technic things. Yeah. They're the same thing. They're just upside down. And they're so floppy. And then this goes back on here. That kind of prevents them from falling down, kind of. Okay. Wow. I'm glad I caught that. Alright, we got this bridge in. So, okay, and then we've got some pins here. Let me see, what are we doing here? We're going through this into what? The wings? That can't be. Yeah, through the center of the wings, but that's... How will it flap then? How will it flap? So, through the center of these kind of drum circular pieces is where we're going with this pin. But I'm a little confused by that, I must say. This is also wrong. I think this is supposed to not be in the middle, but right up on this. Yeah, that looks better. Wow, I got this super wrong. Okay. Okay. Well, they're not floppy. I guess, yeah, I can see how they're gonna flap still, kind of. It kind of feels stuck, though. I don't know. Did I do something wrong? I don't know. Maybe it's because these ones aren't in yet. up into the yellow. You can see him peeking through in the instructions. So through here, through the drum, up into the yellow. Does that still feels so stuck? I don't know. Maybe that's all the more it flaps. Maybe it just needs a little bit of give because the wings are so long. I don't know. I'm nervous that I did it wrong. Well, I guess we'll see. If it doesn't work, we'll have to go back and unbuild and diagnose a bunch of stuff, but I mean, it looks like they should sit straight, which I can't really show. But yeah, when this is pushed forward all the way, they sit relatively straight. I don't know. Did we get it? I think we got it. That will be a mystery for now. All right. C-clips. Hold these on. Sure. Sure. Okay. All right. Oops. Nope. Did I get it right on this side? Yes, I did. Okay. Okay. There we go. And these are extra pieces, plus an extra saber. Maybe another character will grab that in a little while. All right. So we've got our ramp that lowers. Cool. And we've got our flappy thing a little bit. I mean, it's got a pretty limited range of motion, but yeah, it just can't. Unless I built something spectacularly wrong. Let's get a bookmark in here and we'll just flip back through real quick. I think this is going to be the last bag for today. We're at about an hour 47, and due to the complexity of this, I don't know if getting another bag done before I need to sign off is in the cards. But we will just take a quick glance back through here before we attach these wing canisters. Yeah, both facing up, flipped. Yeah, I mean, looks right. Looks right. It just has a very limited range of motion. I guess it's just going to be because the wings are so big on like a very small angle change. It's going to have a big, that's got to be what it is. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for kicking it with us here today. Very cool to get started on this set. that I've been quite excited about. So the dice have a way of working their magic. They knew I wanted to get into this one. So uh, very cool and intricate build so far. Make sure to check out the next video and the next stream to see where we're going here. Bye.